Welcome back. In this experiment, we are going to see how we are going to create a LAN, and we are also going to see how we are going to create various web server services. Say, for example, HTTP, DNS, and DHCP. So let's quickly jump into your experiment. So this is your packet tracer, and for creating a LAN, I should have a few end devices. So it could be a PC, it could be a laptop, right? So I can drag and drop like this, and I can have multiple devices. And if I say a LAN, local area network. That means it has to be interconnected. So the interconnection between these devices could be done with your switches. So what I do is I connect all my devices with my switches, right? So I connect it using this copper cable. So I select it and I use fast Ethernet straight through cable, and I have connected it out. Likewise, I have selected uh, all other devices to be connected like this. So here I am individually selecting each and every devices with your switches. So let me repeat. I am using my fast Ethernet port to the switch corresponding port. And if you could have find if you could easily spot that while connecting, the ports get it's not being displayed. That means it is being used. So you can see this over here. So to which part of my port is my system connected or laptop connected is denoted here. You can have view this using this particular option. Go to option preferences, ensure that always show port labels is turned on. So once you could do this, you'll be able to see your specific port numbers that is connected to this particular device. Once you are connected like this, you can set an IP address using your go this particular GUI method for systems. So over here you can go to the desktop and go for IP configuration, and here for a smaller network I go in for my static connection. I can give it like this. I can have a network with one series 192.168.1.1. So let it be my class C address, and I'll say my default gateway is 192.168.1.254, right? So like this I can able to give IP address for the all the devices. 192, 168, and whatever I have given, it should be in the same networks. So I am choosing the next consecutive number, and the default gateway, it's not required, but still I give it the last usable IP address I'm giving. So 1.254, right? And over here I go over here and perform the same operations once again. Go to IP configuration, I give this particular IP 192.168.1.25. I'm sorry, that would be 3, and the subnet mask is going to be the default subnet mask is going to be 255.255.0, and the default gateway, let it be 192.168 1.254, the last usable IP. So now I have set IP addresses for these systems. Now, as it is connected to the switch, it is possible the being in the same network, a packet to traverse from this network, this particular PC to the other PC. Let's check it out. For that, I go into my packet. I select my packet and I go to the simulation mode. And here I click this particular show or none, and let me go edit this particular filter, right? So edit my filter, and here I just select only ICMP packet. Why am I doing this? I don't want all the packets to go from this end to the other end and you'll get confused. For initial scenarios, you can just select your ICMP packets and do this. Now you'll be able to select a packet. Let you first select the starting point and then do the ending part. So once you do this, there will be a window here. You can click on it and there will be a progress. in real time it will be quickly showing it out, but in simulation mode if you want to do it, the packet moving from the system to the other system will be shown, right? So this is how you are going to configure a particular LAN. So it's a good practice that you also label whatever you have done, say the IP address which I have given. So let it be 1.1, and I think I have given it like 1.2, and here it's going to be 1.3. So this is the IP address that I gave. So this is how this is going to work. So I have three systems here connected to this particular switch. Now with that said, your LAN creation is basically done. Right. Now we'll go ahead with your next say. I'll go ahead with my next level of say the complexity. Now, if I have not three systems, 100 systems, right? So let me repeat once again. Instead of three systems, if there are 100 systems connected to this switch, can you ask whether this is physically done? So somehow the other, I'm connecting it out or making it as one big network, right? Giving IP address for each and every system is going to be cumbersome, right? So what I can do is I can make a service out of a server. So what I do, I drag and drop a server, and what I do also, a I also connect a uh, connected to a network, the same network, and I make this server as a DHCP server. Okay, DHCP server. Now, what this is going to do is, instead of me applying IP address for all these three devices, this server is going to set the IP address. How this is possible? Yes, this is possible. Okay, for that what you can do in the system is, instead of going here and applying it as static, you are going to give it as DHCP. This is from your client side, but in server side you have established a connection. Now go to the server part, go to services, go to DHCP, and click the default gateway. And I have mentioned it out in the earlier thing. I have kept my default gateway as 192.168 one network. This is, so I'm taking the last usable IP address. It's going to be 254, right? And the DNS server I have not set it yet, but I'm going to make 192.168.1 dot 253. Okay, 253 as my DNS server. I'll make a note here. I can also drop you out, and I'm going to say the starting IP address is going to be 192.168 192 168 1 dot says say 1, and the subnet mask is going to be, it's going to be the default subnet mask. I'm going to save it like this, and I'm going to say the number of users are going to be 512. Once this is done, please give save. So once you give it a save, it gets updated here. Okay, it gets updated here. That means what, your DHCP server is ready to provide you the service. Now what I do, I go over here, go to IP configuration, and earlier it was in static, now I'm going to give DHCP. If you could see this, right? Likewise, I'm going to do the same thing for the other thing. So, and here also I'm going to do the same instead of DHCP. Yeah. Now, if you find the DHCP server really doesn't work, our job over there is not over. We'll just wait for a moment. I think a temporary DHCP server will be given. We'll check it out. This will be the outcome of this. You might wonder why we have not given an unique IP address for this particular server. So that's why this won't work. So for that, we have to first give an IP address for this particular server. So for that, what I can do, I can go over here, go to my desktop, set IP address for this also. 192.168, and I give one dot, let it be 250. So this is my DHCP server. The default gateway, the same thing which I have kept, 192.168, 1.254, right? It's going to be like this. And my DNS server is going to be 192.168, and I have set, I remember giving it as 253. Okay, so this is going to be my DNS server, right? And in my services, let me check all these things are there, and I have set all those things. I have given save, and I have forgotten to given this on button also. So please turn it on. I have set an IP, and I have also enabled this particular service, DHCP service. Now let me go here, right? In IP configuration, see, earlier case a temporary IP was set. Now for requesting once again, I have to once again give this DHCP. Now once this is done, the IP address from the pool of 192 series will be given. We'll check it out. Likewise, in other devices also, likewise here also, I'm doing it for the third device also. Right? Let's check it out. It's taking a little bit of time. Let's wait. Let's try to send a packet from here to here. It's still taking time. Let's see. Let's check out whether we have made any errors or something. Let's check out whether the DHCP thing is on, the service is on, pool is also given, gateway is given, mask is given, DHCP, all these things are given. We have added it, we have already saved it, right? And yeah, in physical things, all these things are done. All the connection seems to be fine. I think now let's check out whether the IP configuration is working. Please check your IP configuration, whichever you have set, is working. Right? Earlier we have given it in static. Now when I'm going to request it using my DHCP, this is going to work. We'll also check with the other systems whether it's working or not. See if you could find all my things got filled up. It got assigned as 1.2, and it is getting all my DNS server and all my data. See, all these data are obtained dynamically. I have not entered it. I just configured my DHCP server, and here I am getting all my devices. So this gives me an extend option that I can add the required number of devices here, and I'm not bothered to give IP addresses or to manage my the IP addresses. All these things are taken care by the my server. Right now, with this said, right, now let me add another one more server to it. Okay, so let me add one more server, and I want to host a website in that. Okay, so I'm going to Yeah, this is going to be like this. So here, this is, I'll say this server to be as my web server. Okay, so let it be my web server. So what I do, I try to connect it with my Ethernet cable. So let's check out. There is no more fast Ethernet. These are optical fiber cables. This is not suitable for our server. So what I do, I go to my switch. What I do, I turn off my switch. Okay, I turn off my switch and I add my fast Ethernet port. Let me add two ports, one for my DNS server and one for my HTTP server. So with that said, let me turn on back the switch once again. Right now, what I do, I'll be able to connect the port. So here I could select to this particular port and select to this particular Ethernet. Now let me give my web server particular number. Right. So first thing, configure the particular IP address. So I'll give this as 192.168 and let this particular HTTP server, let it be 1.100. Okay, subnet mask is going to be like this. My default subnet mask is going to be 168 1.254 and DNS server is going to be 192.168 1.253. This is going to be my DNS server. So all these things I'm going to configure. Now what I have done, I have just set an IP address for my server, and what this particular server is going to do is this is going to be my web service. So let me go here, enable my HTTP server. Okay, so let it be on. So now what I can do is go for any end system. Okay, and before that, let me jot down the IP address which I have got here, given here. I have given 100, right? So what I do, I copy this and paste it here for my reference. So let me create it out. I'll say my web server IP is going to be like this. Web server IP address is going to be like this, right? So when I have this is set, let me go to my PC. Okay, let me go to my browser and I can type in the particular IP address which is there, 192.168.1.100, my web server's IP address. So if in front I have to give HTTP colon colon slash and I give it 100. So you should be able to see a web page. Let's check it out. Let me give go. Right. Before that, we can also do this. We can check whether the packet is being sent or received. We'll be able to see. Let me go in real time such that it will be very quick. Yes, it's done. It's working. And here you could see the web page from this particular server. Where is it? It's there here in my HTTP. All my default pages, right? When I say that particular IP address, the index.html is working. How to check it out? You can give it here. Edit, right? Say I can put it in this one. I can give it as h1 and I can say hi class of say computer networks. Okay, and let me close it just to prove you that this is working. I'll give it a save. Yes, I have given save. Now I'll go to my PC and go to my browser and let me give the address, and here you can see that whatever changes I make and I can do this. Now I have also successfully configured my web server here. So it's not at all a big deal, right? It's pretty simple to configure and perform these operations. However, I can't be in a position to remember these kind of number everywhere, right? If I have 1,000 websites, how can I remember all my numbers, right? For that, we have to have something called as URL, Uniform Resource Locator, to uniquely identify a website. For that, what I can do also a DNS service, that is domain name service, that is mapping the domain name with the corresponding web IP address. say for example, this is the IP address. I'm going to equate it to say titus.com. This is possible only in my DNS server. So let me make another DNS server for you. So this is my web server. So once again, go to my end device, take my server and paste it here, and I do the connection part. It's going to be a fast Ethernet one. Yeah, I'm using the last port available here, and I'm going to paste it here, and let my DNS server, already I've given the IP address. I remember giving it as 192.168.1.253. Default subnet mask, default gateway is going to be 192.168 92.168 1.254, and the DNS server is going to be the same one, right? So let me give it 192.168 say 1.253. Okay, this is the same machine is going to act as the DNS server, so I'm giving it like this. Okay, so I've given the all my IP address. I think it's not letting me to do that. Okay, let it be. So with that said, let me go to my services, click on to DNS service, and let me turn it on. Let me add my name as my references, say titus.com, and the address is going to be the corresponding web server, that is going to be 192.168.1.100. Now I say add. Now what happened, my address is being saved with the corresponding IP address. Now all my devices also have this particular DNS server's address configured, given. I've already configured in the DHCP, right? So all my devices will know that this is my DHCP. See, 253. So 253 is assigned as my what to say, uh, DNS server, right? So my DNS server is already specified as DNS server is specified as 253. It's already specified, right? So now directly what I can do is, earlier cases I went to my browser, typed in that particular URL, but henceforth what I'm going to do is I'm going to just type in www.titus.com, and it should able to fetch the particular IP address. This shows that this server runs. Okay, so you can even make one server and enable all the web services. That is also possible, but it's ideal to have a different what to say, IP address mapped with different services. That's for better operational functionality, right? So what you can do is ultimately you can create a LAN of say 5 systems or 7 systems, right? Configure your DHCP server, configure your web server, and configure your DNS server, such that all these devices in the LAN, right, will be able to access all your web pages, and dynamically allocated IP addresses, and even you can have multiple DNS I mean multiple web servers in fact, and you can perform say multiple websites and other stuff using these kind of experiments. I hope I have discussed well. For any queries, you can also contact me during your classes. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.